What's up everybody, Lounge Lizard here, and we are going along for a ride from O'Hare Airport to Pittsburgh International Terminal. This is some video recorded from August 7th, and right now you are going along for my normal ride from where I live in the city to the airport through the bus and also the Blue Line. Right now Uber prices are ridiculous, and this is the easiest way to get to the airport. After heading through Clear, I make a right and then a left to go underground to go through the neon artistic tunnel in order to get to Concourse C. We're flying out of C today, so our first stop and my first ever vlog is going to be reviewing Terminal 1 Concourse C. After you head up the escalators, you're going to turn left and head into the C Club. Now, the C Club is really the smallest of all of the United clubs at O'Hare Airport. When they built the Polaris Lounge, which is available to international business travel only and is still currently closed, they took a huge chunk of space out of this club. It's really just a small rectangle with seating for maybe a little over 100 people in here. And until very recently, the bar itself was beer and wine only. There must have been a lot of complaints from the Bloody Mary and, for me, the vodka soda close it crowd. And as you can see from the video, it is absolutely packed on a Saturday morning here in the C Club. I spoke with the bartender, who was lovely, and she let me know that this isn't even busy in terms of what we normally see in this club. So if you have extra time, I would recommend going to the Terminal 2 Club or one of the B clubs. They're a little less crowded than you'll see in this club. We have the normal offerings here as well, your standard illy coffee, some snacks on the left, looks like some pretzels, things like that. One thing that's returned, I've been traveling throughout the pandemic, one thing that's recently returned is hot breakfast items. One thing United elevated that is gone right now due to the pandemic, they had buffet style hot food. Food is normally served hot starting at 7 a.m. for the breakfast crowd here. So a couple changes and things that I haven't seen before. This looks like a new item for me. Egg salad sandwiches are now available at the United Club. So I feel sorry for anybody who is sitting next to somebody who brings this on board. Not exactly airplane food, eat that in the club. We have the standard packaged but hot bagels, which I've never seen anywhere else. And then we have these Jimmy Dean sausage kind of wannabe egg McMuffins that are available for you as well. You have your standard Coca-Cola freestyle machine to get different drink offerings there. And then the coffee machines that can make your espressos and your lattes. Both were broken when I stopped by to take this visit, but one thing anybody who's been to a United Club more than once knows, those machines are broken more often than you would think and require, I suppose, a lot of maintenance in order to maintain those. One of the biggest pluses to the C Club, especially compared to the two clubs that are available in B, is the view. In C, a lot of the international flights depart for United, and you can usually see some really great aircraft coming through here, your 777s, Dreamliners, 767s, and also in the background there, a lot of taxiing activity typically happens when you're sitting there, although when I was there on Saturday morning, it looks like all the activity was on the other side of the airport. So not too much to look at besides you know, a couple tugs moving back and forth, getting ready to load up whatever flights were coming up next. So a lot of busy ground activity and crews moving along there to get flights ready for their next departures. But sadly, no airplane activity. After that, it is time for me to depart. I didn't get to the airport quite as early as I normally do. I typically show up about 2 hours early. And before I depart, I usually get one more cup of coffee here. As you can see, I'm loading up on some Illy dark roasts to get my caffeine jolt ready in the morning before I head out to our flight. Amenities-wise, there's really nothing to write home about from this club. It's your standard United Club. It's very small. Really only recommended if you are traveling out of sea, you have a tight connection, and you do not have time to stop by any of the other clubs. I think everybody else in the club feels the same way as well. I mean, it is tough to find a seat, although it started to empty out as I was getting ready to depart. Flight time between Chicago and Pittsburgh is typically under 1 hour. This is me taking a screenshot of what the travel route looked like while I was already underway, just doing a quick pass over Cleveland. The terminal itself and the airport overall really looked like it was back to life. I can't tell you the last time I've seen that many American Airlines tails all parked at the gates ready to depart. Very, very big difference between my flights 1 year ago and my flight today. One thing that started up recently where you can really see a lot of progress is all of the upgrade work that's happening right now to Terminal 5. There's a lot of glass installations there that you can see just beyond the cutter flight here that I haven't seen before. So definitely making a lot of progress on the Terminal 5 upgrades. And with that short taxi, it's now time for us to take off and head to Pittsburgh. Now we're pulling into Pittsburgh International Airport. I grew up in Pittsburgh, and at the time of this airport's opening in 1992, it was considered the most technologically advanced airport in the world, and it was built specifically for US Air, then US Airways. So it was US Air's fortress hub. Right now, as you can see as I'm pulling in, not exactly a lot of activity. There's a lot of empty gates that are at the airport, and even when I left the terminal, you could see just a lot of businesses and shops still closed, although a lot of the restaurants, or almost all of the restaurants, are back open. But a lot of these stores that were marked temporarily closed, it did not look very temporary at all. Heading down here to get the tram, you can see two of Pittsburgh's most significant historical figures, Franco Harris and George Washington, which most Pittsburghers would say are equally important to the history of Pittsburgh and the region. One other thing I wanted to make sure I got in this video is the tram ride. Pittsburgh's going through some upgrades, and the terminal is split between a landside and an airside terminal. After all the upgrades, that's going to be going away, the airside terminal. So this train will be no longer here in just a few short years. I wanted to make sure that we captured that moment. So there it is, my first trip and first lounge review for the Lounge Lizard. Let me know what you think in the comments. What would you like to see next, or what would you like to see in future videos? Thank you for watching.